What happens when you have one of the most hated pests in gardening called the aphids, and you try getting rid of them by testing 9 different ways to answer one question: is there a best way to get rid of aphids? Starting us off is the first method, which is spraying the aphids off with water. And when spraying them off, you want to make sure to target the center because that is where the aphids are. And just like that, the first method got practically all of the aphids off from my pepper plant, and it was not that hard. For the second method I'm going to be using what everyone probably have 2 of, and that is your hands. So I'm just going to start by removing them from the leaves, and we'll see how many of them we could get off. Another trick you could do when removing them by hand is you could take a little bit of some tape and then put it around your finger, and now when we go to catch aphids with it, we'll be able to have them stick to the tape like you could see here. The third method is making a soap spray. To make my soap spray, I'm going to be using this Dr. Bronner's pure castile soap because this soap is too strong for your plants. So with the castile soap, the amount to add is for 1 liter of water, 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of this soap. But since my spray bottle is only a small one, it could only hold about 100 milliliters of water, I'm going to be adding half a teaspoon since it's the closest dilution to match the same ratio. So we leave the soap plant to sit for a few minutes before we come back and check on it. The fourth method I'm going to be testing is using neem oil. The main reason to use neem oil is because it stops the aphids from being able to reproduce and spread. And the way neem oil does that is because of a compound that it has in it called azeractin, which is only in cold pressed neem oil, which disrupts the aphid hormones by preventing them from being able to mature. And when there is no mature aphids, they can't breed more of them. To mix neem oil, the amount to add is 1 to 2 tablespoons of the neem oil for a 4 liter of water or a gallon. And with my spray bottle that I changed the water, I'm going to add half a teaspoon for my 100 milliliters of water. And then similarly, we spray it on the plant for the neem oil. For the fifth and sixth method, it's using rubbing alcohol and vinegar to kill aphids. For my rubbing alcohol is I'm just going to be taking it and pouring enough in my spray bottle for the amount I need. And for the vinegar spray, the amount to add is about 1 tablespoon to 4 liters of water. But for mine, I'm going to use about an 8 teaspoon for 125 milliliters of water. For the 7 and 8 method, I'm testing some powders. The first one is diatomaceous earth, which is fossils crushed up into a fine powder. And this thing is sharp to the tiny aphids. And the second powder is sulfur. So we'll go ahead and apply that. So now we'll do the sulfur plant. Now a bonus method that I want to try is using some garlic powder because garlic powder is high in sulfur, and I saw a video saying that it will work. So I'm going to try it out. The ninth method I'm testing is using an insecticidal soap specifically designed for our plants so it won't hurt them at all. Since mine is 100 milliliters, I'm going to just be using 5 milliliters of this product, which is about 5 grams. First up, we'll start with the one that we sprayed with water. On this one, I could see that the aphids are starting to come back. I see a few near the top of this leaf. The underneath side also has a few aphids as well. That was probably due to that washing with water won't get all of the aphids, and those few that are left probably caused them to come back. Moving on to the one that I treated with soap, and on this one I only see 4 aphids that are alive. Moving on to the one with neem oil, I noticed that the leaves are a bit shinier. The water from the spray evaporated, but the oil is still coating the surface. Looking through, I do see about 3 aphids on the plant, but the other ones, the area that was really infested, have a lot of brown aphids on it. The next plant that we treated was with vinegar. I was the most scared of using vinegar because I read online that it had the greatest chance of burning the plants. And this pepper plant, none of the leaves look burnt at all or damaged, but all of the aphids are still alive on them. So this method clearly didn't work, or it was too less amount of vinegar in my mix. For the next plant, it was treated with alcohol. And here it is here. It's looking quite sad, as you can see, but we'll come back to that one later because I have some more interesting results to share on it. So on to the next one. It's diatomaceous earth. And from the results, I could see that the aphids that the diatomaceous earth came in contact with are all looking dead. Up next is our plant treated with sulfur. The sulfur also did a pretty good job at getting rid of the aphids. Next one is insecticidal soap. This one, the aphids are completely dead on it, except for one aphid, which might have come from another one that this one was next to. And onto the one that I ended up treating with garlic powder. I think it half and half worked. Some of the aphids are dead, but I still see an aphid moving. And for the one with the alcohol, I don't necessarily think that it was the alcohol that could have killed it. And the reason I could say that is because this second pepper plant here, I first sprayed with the alcohol. Oh no, they're the same plant. But I discarded from the test completely because after I sprayed, the vinegar sprayed on it too. So I thought it could have messed up the results. But this one you can see don't have really any signs of damage to the leaf at all. All of the aphids are dead on it. And since we know that the vinegar spray didn't kill the aphids at all, that goes to show that the alcohol spray does work and shouldn't hurt your plants. So it's been 11 days since the last video. The plant that I sprayed the alcohol on that I thought had no effect to it ended up dying. So I would try and stay away from the alcohol method. The other thing that I want to mention is that I found the actual plant that I sprayed the water method on. And although it has lots of aphids from being with that tray, this method I think would still work. And one last thing is the neem oil plant. This plant has a lot of browning starting to develop on the leaves. I did some research online for what those brown spots are, and it's actually the plant leaves getting burned. And this actually surprised me because I thought this would have been a great method. I also just brought these because I also sprayed neem oil on this one, and the same thing happened. They have brown spots on their leaves. As for the conclusions from running this aphid experiment, for the best and safest method, you should probably go with the insecticidal soap. But also some other great ones is blasting off the aphids just with water, because that's what everyone have, or the Dr. Bronner soap that is still mild for plants and could still work. Well, those are the conclusions for the experiment, and I hope you learned a lot. If you did, peck that like button and share this video with a friend. Goodbye!